What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to another training vlog. It's day 2 and week 2 of my new training blog, and I wanted to guide you through my new training sessions. And another thing we're going to talk about today is average intensity. So if you're actually training as hard as you think, because most people don't even know what their actual training dose is. I've already started with my warm-up and did my first working set of heel elevated high bar squats, and they went pretty well actually. We still have 2 more sets left, and then we continue with some accessory work. Squats are done for today. I'm a little bit out of breath, but I was touching on the second topic of today. What is average intensity? It is the average amount of load you moved in a training session, week or block relative to your 1RM. It basically tells you how heavy your training actually was, and it's kind of a number that displays the sum of the average workload done during that session, week or training block. Average intensity helps answer 3 big questions. The first one, are you doing enough work in your workout? Are you doing too little, or are you doing too much of work? And lastly, are your workouts actually getting heavier over time, or are they staying the same? After the heels elevated high bar squats, I continued with some staggered stance deadlifts, so some unilateral deadlifts that have a little bit more stability than single leg RDLs, and it focuses on the last phase of gait, so more so the kick-off phase, so really focusing on hip extension and shifting into either side of the hip, so basically improving hip flexion and hip extension for a bigger squat. When it comes to programming, I'm using an RPE-based programming approach. That means intensity is flexible, but also trackable, right? Because if we are rating a training set at 5 reps for an RP7, that equals a percentage relative to the 1RM. But if we're only training percentage-based and we're not rating any RPEs, it is very hard to track actual intensity throughout a training session, throughout a week, and throughout a training block. So to wrap it up, percentage-based gives us structure, whereas RPE gives us flexibility. Now, if we have 5 reps planned at 75%, it should roughly equal an RP8. If you're overshooting, well, you are decreasing the load. If you're undershooting, you're increasing the load. As easy as that to reach the average intensity for that session. And you should track both percentage based, so the external load on the bar, on the belt, or whatever, and RPE, the internal feeling, how you perceive how heavy the load was on that given day. Then I did 2 sets of belt squats, focusing on a nice vertical descent, keeping mid-foot pressure and ensuring I don't lose my brace as I push out of the bottom position. So I'm still struggling to push into the ground, and I still have the tendency to extend up or pull upwards. And that is not the strategy that I would like to use. I want to learn how to drive more force into the ground, and that's what I'm practicing there, and obviously taking the load off of the spine by doing some belt squats after the deadlifts and the high bar squats. Recently I faced an issue with one of my clients. His top sets didn't progress anymore, but everything was looking fine. His RPEs, the volume increased, but when I looked at his average intensity, it dropped by 7%. We were working more, but not harder. And that is a very important takeaway. Just because you're doing more, it doesn't mean you're getting better or you're actually driving progress. But here is the issue. Average intensity isn't effort. It doesn't tell you volume, frequency, or how hard a set was. It just tells you how hard the actual work was. So what I try to explain with it, if we're doing 20 reps at 75%, it is not the same as doing 10 reps at 80% plus 10 reps at 70%. The outcome will be slightly different, even though the average is going to be the same. If you are a beginner, just skip this. You don't need this. You're progressing your 1RM on a weekly basis. Just focus on effort, consistency, and a good technique, and you will set a good foundation for some heavy lifts later on. If you're serious about your training, don't just track volume, also track intensity and the average intensity throughout the training session, week, and training block. It won't predict outcomes, but it will help you make more informed decisions and help you see if you're actually driving some progress in the right direction. Average intensity isn't effort, it is just a feedback that helps you dial in your training. We wrapped the leg training up with some leg curls in a prone position and some leg extensions. I finished the session with some shoulder work and triceps, just to get some more additional volume and to use the machines that are available here, since we're quite limited with the equipment that we have in our gym. That's it for today's video. If you haven't done yet, please subscribe, like, and share for more content like this, and see you in the next one.